Hi, it's Michael from Fujifilm, and I'd like to talk to you about good old-fashioned manual focus. Now, the principles of focusing an image on a sensor or film plane really haven't changed ever. You move the lens elements closer and farther from the sensor depending on where your subject is located. And good old-fashioned manual focus mechanical lenses such as this one here translate the rotational movement from the lens ring by way of cams and helicoids inside into that lateral movement. You find that same tried and true design in lenses designed for the motion picture industry, where repeatability and precision are far more important than speed. Now, with contemporary autofocus systems, the engineers discovered that those kinds of lens designs were not optimum for really rapid response for a lot of erratic moving subjects like sports or any kind of action, or quite frankly even kids running around in your backyard. So they responded by developing what I call focus by wire systems, where everything is completely electrically driven. So there are motors inside the lenses that move the elements forward and back, and they do so in response to instructions from the camera body, which gets input from the focus ring on the lens. Now, the focus ring has a bunch of sensors around it, okay? But the response behavior that's programmed into the camera by default is of a non-linear fashion. The result of this is when you turn the ring quickly, the lens moves a lot. When you turn it slowly, then the lens creeps in focus. So that can be really, really helpful for when you need gross, fast movements. Think, say, photographing a tennis player that's moving back and forth from the baseline to the net over and over again, and you need quick, large responses. So that can be very, very helpful. The downside of something like that, though, is it's really hard to be precise, and it's almost impossible to be repeatable, okay? And that is really important when you're doing movie and video stuff, is that repeatability of manual focus. Well, with a bunch of our X series cameras and the GFX100, at least as of this time, there is a way that you can tailor that behavior by way of a menu item. So if you turn on the menu, you can go down to the wrench and the button dial setup, and usually the second page down there's something called focus ring operation. And all you need to do is change that to linear. Now, what's really cool is when that is on linear, the behavior of the lens ring is now going to be position sensitive, not speed sensitive. So that means that every time I turn the lens from one place to another and back, the lens will always focus on those exact two spots, all right, in distance, always repeatably 100%. This also means that I can make little tiny movements if I need to, say in the case of an actor that's leaning in and leaning back, with great precision, okay? There's another menu item that you'll find that's just above focus ring operation, and this exists on the cameras that may not even have the focus ring operation item, but it's simply labeled focus ring, and there are two options in there for clockwise and counterclockwise. This is very, very helpful for people that may be shooting a film camera and a digital camera side by side, or if you're moving from another manufacturer's camera system to the Fujifilm universe and are used to having the lens rotation in a certain direction, you can set this up to the way that makes you happy. Now also, what's good is that these are in-camera menu settings, which means you don't have to do this for every single lens. It's universal to all the XF, XC, and GF lenses that you put on the bodies. Once you set this in the menu, all the lenses will have that behavior. So thanks for joining me. See you next time.